This odd encounter took place on September 12, 1952, in the town of Flatwoods in West Virginia. Edward May, age 13, Freddie May, age 14, Tommy Heyer, age 10, Neil Nunley, age 14, Ronnie Shaver, age 10, and Gene Lemon, age 17 and a member of the National Guard, had been playing football near their school that evening. Around 7:15 p.m., they saw a bright fiery ball streak across the sky and land on a hilltop on the Bailey Fisher farm. The group ran to the May household to find Edward and Freddie's mother, Kathleen May. It seems everyone was in agreement that although they were spooked, it would be best to investigate and see what happened. Mrs. May grabbed a flashlight and accompanied the boys to the hill along with their family dog. While making their way to the top of the hill, the group saw a pulsating ball of fire about 50 feet away in the distance. The family dog ran ahead and came back shortly thereafter, whimpering with its tail between its legs. Gene Lemon, who was holding the flashlight towards the ground, saw a pair of glowing animal-like eyes up ahead that appeared to be a foot apart from one another and well off the ground. He decided to shine the flashlight upon those eyes. The light revealed a towering 10-foot-tall humanoid figure with glowing eyes, a round reddish face, and a dark pointed hood covering the back of its head that looked like an ace of spades. Its clothing appeared metallic. The top part appeared to be like a suit of armor, but the bottom was more like a skirt with wavy folds. The entity made a shrill hissing noise, which released a gas. It then floated towards them, and then moved towards the burning ball. At this point, the party that traversed the hill fled in terror. Some of them started vomiting on the run back. Miss May then contacted the local sheriff and newspaper. The boys then contacted some of their friends to tell others about what happened to them. By the time the sheriff, Robert Carr, and a local reporter, Mr. A. Lee Stewart of the Braxton Democrat, arrived, a sizable gathering was already present at the May household, each wanting to see the weird monster for themselves. Both Sheriff Carr and Mr. Stewart went to the crash site later that night. The fiery ball was gone, and there was no creature to speak of, but Sheriff Carr was quoted as saying, "The air had a metallic smell, which burned our eyes and noses." Stewart reported that there was a sickening, burnt, metallic odor still prevailing. A police search was conducted the next day, where it is said that a black, oil-like substance was found on the trees and on the ground at the site. After encountering the creature, several members of the September 12th group reported suffering from similar symptoms, which persisted for some time and which they attributed to having been exposed to the mist emitted by the creature. The symptoms included irritation of the nose and swelling of the throat. Lemon suffered from vomiting and convulsions throughout the night and had difficulties with his throat for several weeks afterwards. A doctor who treated several of the witnesses is reported to have described their symptoms as being similar to victims of mustard gas, though such symptoms were also commonly found in sufferers of hysteria, which can be brought on by exposure to traumatic or shocking events. The night after the event brought with it new information as other witnesses came forward. A resident of Birch River testified that he had seen a bright orange object circling overhead the Flatwoods area. These encounters included a story of a mother and her 21-year-old daughter, who claimed to have encountered a creature with the same appearance and odor a week prior to the September 12th incident. The encounter reportedly affected the daughter so badly that she was confined to a hospital for 3 weeks. They also gathered a statement from the mother of the local farmer, in which she said, at approximately the time of the crash, her house had been violently shaken and her radio had cut out for 45 minutes. And a report from the director of the local board of education came in, in which he claimed to have seen a flying saucer take off at 6:30 on the morning of September 13th, the morning after the creature was sighted. The day after the Flatwoods incident, a couple taking a leisurely drive through the mountains of Frametown, West Virginia at dusk were met with a similarly horrific experience. Their car came to a sudden stop and refused to start again. Shortly thereafter, a putrid, sulfurous odor filled the air. The couple, circling the vehicle in hopes of spotting the culprit, spotted something far worse than they could have imagined. From the waist down, it was similar to the Flatwoods monster, but from the waist up was a reptilian humanoid. This creature is thought to be the same creature sighted in Flatwoods, but with the top part of the metallic suit missing. The couple immediately returned to their car in an attempt to escape, but again, the car would not start. The entity circled the car, frightening the passengers, then put its claw-like hands onto the hood, which left a burnt imprint. In spite of the mounting evidence, police were still somewhat skeptical of the story told by the original September 12th party. They called in each of the boys separately to have them draw a rough figure of what they saw. Each drew a similar-looking picture. Kathleen May was also a hobbyist painter and went on to create several paintings of what she saw that night. The Air Force later investigated as well and described the event as a meteor landing, but this does not fit with the evidence at the scene. All people who saw the ball of fire saw it float much slower than a meteor would while crashing down to Earth. There also wasn't an impact crater or other meteor fragments in the area. UFO experts suspect that the alien craft overheated and needed to make an emergency landing. Local residents sent in samples of strange black liquid and metal from the site to the Air Force to be tested. No results were ever made public.